Earlier this year, I did a video on a man who claims that Gematria can predict things and went to great lengths to try and prove this. Here is a quick clip to jog your memory.
Again, been exposing for years how everything NASA does, and I mean everything, is by the numbers. I have a long chapter about this in my first book, Letters and Numbers.
Well, you won't believe this, but he's now done a video on NASA's new moon mission, Artemis 1. The problem is, he made this video before anything happened with Artemis 1 at all. Stay tuned. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we begin today, I just want to give a quick shout out to my second channel, Run Man Dan. Does what it says on the tin. It's me running things, and quite recently running long things. I had been banging on about it for months, but I did the half marathon des Sables in Fuerteventura. It was an extremely difficult race. It almost broke me. Click the link in the description and you will find that video to watch. It really is one of the best videos I think I've ever made. Please do check it out. I was in a lot of pain for that race, and if you want to see me in a lot of pain, then that is the place to go. Thank you very much. Right, back to today's video, which sees Zach from Gematria Effect News doing a video on NASA's Artemis 1. We join him midstream.
But again, the liftoff will be tomorrow, August 29th, which is crucial, which we'll talk about in a second.
Now, of course, Artemis 1 didn't actually launch until November the 16th. He didn't predict that, did he?
Actually, we'll just start right here before we even get to the 42. Let's break down the significance of the launch on August 29th, the 241st day of the year. 241 is the 53rd prime number, and the moon landing was in 69, which was 53 years ago.
All of which is of course irrelevant because it launched on November the 16th, which is the 320th day of the year. And the cube root of 320 is 6.8399, which is a totally random number.
July 20th, 1969, I guess technically July 20th and 21st, 1969. So we just passed the 53-year anniversary, and just shortly after that, now we're talking about the moon landing in Virgo. And one more time, Virgo is associated with Mary. The Catholic Church celebrates the Virgin Mary's birthday, September 8th. But then again, Mary associated with the moon. So
Mary is associated with the moon. Never heard that one before. Now, he actually started this stream by defending astrology because Professor Dave called astrology nonsense. Love Dave.
Anyhow, perfect distance in years for a new tribute to the moon landing. And notice the launch is going to happen at Kennedy Space Center in Florida at 8:33 a.m.
Nope, it ended up being 1:47 a.m, which of course is in Eastern Time. For me, here in the UK, which of course is the real work time of the world, jokes, it was 6:47 a.m.
These launch times are always specific. We talked about this with the James Webb Telescope back on Christmas. Anyhow, with regards to it being 33 minutes after the hour, again, Gematria, if you're new here, very simple practice, goes back to the Pythagoreans, and really before that, it comes from Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism. Again, look into the Hebrew alphabet where every letter is a number.
And of course, we've proved before that he uses these numbers to manipulate things. Sometimes he includes days when he's counting up through the days. Sometimes he omits days, whichever number suits him.
It's a tradition that's carried on through other alphabets, Greek, Latin, right up into English. And again, what's considered the most pure cipher is the alphabetic order with the rules numerology. So A's 1, B's 2, C's 3, D's 4, E's 5. Where it changes is when you get to J, the 10th letter, you take the numerology at 10. So 1 plus 0 is 1, so J is 1. K, the 11th letter, is 1 plus 1 is 2. L, the 12th letter, is 1 plus 2 is 3. Up to Z, the 26th letter, becomes 2 plus 6 is 8. When you use this cipher, Kennedy equals 33, so does federal, so does masonry, so does secrecy, so does order.
So does nonsense, claptrap, and jizzy. Just saying.
And again, the federal government, this is their mission, this is their launch time. Remember, in D.C., which is known as the Masonic City, you have the House of the Temple, the Masonic headquarters, Look into the architecture of that building. You'll see that it has 33 columns on the outside that are each 33 feet tall.
That actually is true, but it is so because it honours the 33 degrees of the Scottish Rite. Besides, all of that is irrelevant because it didn't take off at that time. Let's move on.
With regards to it lasting 42 days, in the same cipher, outer space in Freemason equal 42. The highest degree of the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry in DC, the building with all the 33s, is 33. So 42 days, launching at 8:33. Big numbers with Masonic history.
Except the mission is only lasting 25 days and it took off on the 47th minute. So that means that all of this is totally and utterly wrong. He bangs on about 42 a lot here, so let's skip on a bit.
Now, this moon mission is to end in Libra. And notice how Libra has the Gematria of 42 and also 39. And they've settled on this 42-day moon mission, but if you've been reading this story in days leading up to it, they were saying it was going to last between 39 and 42 days.
But again, now it's ending in Sagittarius, which is 45, I believe. And that has no significance, but you can imagine my absolute distress when I realised that guff and beans equals 46.
So they've settled in at 42. But just notice how in the base ciphers, it's going to end in Libra, either way, which has the Gematria of 42 and 39. And again, astrology has the Gematria of 42. We just talked about how important this was at the time of Olivia Newton-John's death, which was a huge astrological ritual.
Was it? Olivia Newton-John's death was a huge astrological ritual? Sounds a bit weird.
Monday, named after the moon, which rules Cancer, dead from Cancer. If you missed the work, go back and look at it.
Well, I'm convinced.
But notice also, when you run the alphabetic order in reverse with numerology, Libra, Federal, Masonry, Secrecy, those words that were 33 become 39. Again, just going with the 39 to 42 day mission. And just to remind, NASA, they began in July 29th, 1958. By the way, if anybody out there is wondering, well, what about Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and their space missions? All by the same code, all with the same rituals. I've been shown for years how easy it is to see that Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, the rest of them, they're all clearly Jesuit puppets. And if you haven't done the time to read my books or watch the videos and read all the posts put out on this, again, you don't have an argument. Go back and do the research on what I put out and then see if you can debunk it. I guarantee you cannot.
Are you absolutely sure about that? Here's a quick reminder. Bingo. And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to manipulation. In the last section, you referenced Biden's birthday and you had the first date, November the 20th, included in your count. But you had the second date, 29th of March, up to, but not including. This is where you get the 129 days. Now, as you move on to Obama, you include both the dates you are referencing. You manipulated the result to get 129 each time. Dear oh dear, Zach. Anyhow, Zach has one more slap in the face, he calls it. Let's have a look.
For just another slap in the face with the numbers, the manned rocket they're going to use for the moon mission is 322 feet tall. 322.
Okay, 322, right.
And again, Skull and Bones, the powerful secret society at Yale that's modeled after the Knights Templar for how they buried their dead in an ossuary. Again, the Jesuits have the Templar cross in their logo, and for a Masonic lodge to be opened, those who are considered modern-day Knights Templars have to be on the scene for the opening of the lodge. So again, all these things are connected. Templars, Jesuits, Catholic Church, modern Freemasonry, who build all those nice Catholic cathedrals, of course, the builders. But anyhow, 322 is the number of Skull and Bones, which is large and in charge in DC. So many rituals in that city with 322. But again, it's part of this Masonic Jesuit alliance.
That's all well and good, but according to NASA's own fact sheet about the SLS launch system, it's 321 feet tall. Well, to be fair, it's 98 metres, which is 321.522 feet. So, rounding up much, Zach, to suit your narrative? Thought so. Well, there we go. Let's finish up with Zach and his Gematria nonsense for another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday. We are all done and dusted. Thank you so much for watching. No doubt this will end up with another raft of tweets from Zach asking me to debate him on numbers. Amazing. Thank you so much for watching today. It truly is appreciated. If you enjoyed it, please do consider subscribing to the channel. If you really enjoyed it, please hit that like button as well and consider sharing. Just enough time to once again mention the Runman channel. Please do check it out if it interests you. I've got massive plans for 2023 on that channel, so take a look. I've been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a great week, and I'll see you on Friday for part 3 of Flatzoi's debunk of Professor Dave. See you then.